Now it's back to the morning show with Larry and Sally.
We have moved to the next phase of our televisual relationship where Sally says to me 5 seconds to go, "You've still got your glasses on, Dale." I have to whip them up. It represents the next phase in our relationship.
We've moved on, haven't we?
Yeah, we're there now.
I like it. All right, now health experts have renewed calls for a tax on soft drinks in order to curb our nation's obesity epidemic. Now, 3 major health organisations, Diabetes Australia, the Cancer Council and the Heart Foundation, want sugary drinks to be taxed and regulated just like tobacco and alcohol.
Let's go to our jury panel for more on this one. Journalist from the 7 Newsroom, Kelly Sloan, and radio host Terrence Mullings. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Kelly, firstly, really upset Mexico is ahead of us on anything, but they introduced a tax last week. Would we benefit from having the same kind of deal here in Australia, do you think?
No, absolutely not. I'm dead set against more taxes and more regulation, and there's proof it doesn't work. Look, Denmark introduced this fat tax a couple of years ago and it was gone. It was a big fat fail. Within a year they scrapped it. It was a bureaucratic nightmare. It didn't change people's minds. You know, what we should be doing is subsidising healthy foods. It's a crazy situation where you go to the supermarket and you can buy a can of Coke, cheaper than you can buy a bottle of water. Yeah. Let's change that and let's educate people. Let's get a Jamie Oliver style campaign, show people how you can drink well, eat well, and you know, let's not attack our dairy industry and our juice industry as well. Those farmers are struggling enough as it is.
Yes, good call.
Yeah, absolutely. Terrence, what do you think? More than 2 in 3 Aussies are overweight or obese. Do you think it's the answer?
Well, I do think a fat tax will work because I think if people are hurt on the hip pocket, then they'll actually think about their choices. I do like the fact that it's working in Mexico, but I think the fact that they do have the deep-fried burritos, the chimichangas, doesn't add to the fact that they're the most obese. But look, I think a couple of things. Personally, I've been affected by the whole, sugary stuff where diabetes in my family, so I know we have to do something about it. And I think if people are hurt on the hip pocket, it will help, but I also think that we need education on this as well. I think people need to realise, the general public, we need to realise that so much sugar, the body can't process it. It is toxic. And I think if we had education, like they did with smoking, where they put the effect of smoking and what people look like as a result, graphic images, maybe put some graphic images. I'm not going to suggest what sort of images we put on there. I'll leave that to the creative executives. But I think education as well as a tax would actually help.
Do you reckon when someone came up with that in a boardroom, let's do a fat tax in Mexico, that they threw that person up on their shoulders and did like the dance they do in the taco? No, maybe not. Right. Okay.
Love it. All right. A single man in the UK has sent Twitter into overdrive after publicly advertising for a girlfriend. Landscaper Gerald Abrahams took to the streets of London with a giant sign reading "Hot Brunette Wanted." Woo! Onlookers snapped photos and posted them on Twitter, sparking a global tweeting frenzy. Now, he spoke about it earlier on Sunrise. Let's have a look at this.
It's, a bit crazy. I mean, it was a bit of fun, a bit of humour for the first day back at work, and just trying to do something a little bit more dynamic and a bit different for the new year. So, a bit crazy. Smartphones, people just take photos and it goes global.
Terrence, you've got to admire his creativity,
and his eyebrows.
Mate, that guy Gerald should be celebrated. I mean, what a guy. It is a competitive market out there to get a girl, and you've got to go big or you've got to go home. And I think he's gone big. I'm not sure about the fact that he's still got a Hotmail. I'm not sure if that'll help him. But apart from that, he's doing well. And the fact that he was specific. Not many men know what they want. He knew what he wanted. Look, I went big and I got my girl, so I know it works. You know, we were working at Today FM together. Yeah. We're the, just a side note, we're the first original Black Thunders. I was the first original Black Thunder, but apart from that, we were there and she wanted to fill out my timesheet for me because I was on the phone. And she said, "Terrence, how do you spell your last name?" I was like, "Mullings, Mullings. You better remember that. It'll be yours one day." Oh. And it worked. She loved it. Come on. Go big or go home.
Handing out icy cold cans of Coke and the Black Thunders.
Without sugar.
Yeah,
Coke without sugar.
Kelly's had nearly 300 responses so far as the last Hotmail on Hotmail.
Yes.
This is working, right?
Well, girls love a guy with a sense of humour, and you don't want a boring life. He's not going to be boring. But I'm a bit worried because he says he wants this for 2014. I'm worried that in 2015 he'll say, "Sorry, I want a hot blonde this year." So that would be my concern.
The system works.
And you don't want a guy who just is me, all about me, spotlight on me. He might be one of those kind of guys. I don't know.
Do you reckon?
My relationship's over then.
Now, let's move on. An assistant to a major Hollywood producer is in a whole lot of hot water today after accidentally CCing hundreds of Hollywood heavyweights in an email to his entire contact list, exposing their contact information in the process. Now, it sparked a hilarious email chain with celebrities jumping all over it. Judd Apatow was the first to respond with, "I just made 100 grand selling this contact list to Gorka. Should we split it or donate it to water.org? P.S. Can I get an updated photo of Nathan?" Gorka requested something casual, like, you know, from a Lakers game. Kelly, the assistant lucky they have a good sense of humour or a job at this point.
Yeah, no, they are lucky that they had a sense of humour because that's serious stuff. But I can think of a couple of examples here where things have gone wrong. Right. Sam Armitage's mobile phone number being broadcast to a national audience, that wasn't any good. The ABC leaking its staff salaries, that was a big baddie. So, you know, worse things can happen.
It happens.
Terrence, has anything like that ever happened to you? Have you had a bit of a stop-up?
Not really as such, but I do like the fact that when they make it big-time, celebrities still have a sense of humour, because I think they only got to the celebrities with the names A and B. If they got to W, I'd be like, don't email me, I don't do group emails. Denzel Washington doesn't do group emails. No, I've never done that, but, you know, I hate when you BCC someone and they reply all. It's like, dude, don't reply all. There's meant to be a secret. My dad always does that. I won't tell you what happened, but yeah.
All right, a good story.
One of those for another day.
You send a message about someone.
That's exactly what I
did. Yeah.
And he replied all.
All right, thank you, guys. Excellent hit out. And I think the takeaway message today, guys, if you want to meet hot chicks, get off Hotmail. Get one of those other cooler accounts. Get off Hotmail. Thank you, guys.
That's right. We want to hear from you guys. What is the most embarrassing email stuff-up that you have ever made? Head over to our Facebook page and let us know.
All right, later this morning for you. Are you doing enough to protect your online privacy? Not like that last one. Our expert reveals the surprisingly simple things you could be missing.